lovely Capricorn. This is your reading for this gorgeous, big, expansive full moon in Sagittarius, half man, half Pegasus, half horse, half woman, half horse. We're extending ourselves outward and upward. But yeah, it's looking pretty amazing tonight. I'm having to do this in the evening. So let's see, Capricorn, thanks for tuning in. These are intuitive tarot readings. Take what works for you, leave what does not work. So let's see what the storyboard says. What's the story today for Capricorn? It's looking quite big. We've got the Two of Swords, of course, a decision to be made, not necessarily quickly or immediately, but certainly a decision that is being made over time based more upon well, how do they describe it? Based more upon how we see things playing out, actually, is what I'm getting to a point. But we're relying not on our intellect so much, but on our intuitive faculties here, Capricorn. And of course, if you haven't watched this channel, the Lightroom Forecast, before, we do go through and clarify. So yeah, this beautiful Two of Swords in the Thoth deck, it is called Peace, because it's as if there's a little lull in time and mind chatter. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's got quite a nice feeling to it. So we're making a decision that's really based on our gut, I guess. Second card, we've got the Lovers here. This is a commitment. It's a commitment to sort of synthesize things or to conjoin. To me, there is an alchemy in the Lovers. It is an alchemical card. The Hermit oversees it. There's a large, so we see a large sort of sage, wise hermit overseeing this union, overseeing the vows. Speaking of dualities, not meshing together, but a sort of melding together, a welding together, you could say, you know, a balance. This could be something within yourself, or it could be, I mean, look, when you look at these two cards together, it's literally like you're making a choice. This is a choice. It's a conscious choice. Then it's a conscious choice as opposed to a sort of robotic unconscious choice. Transformation, beautiful death, wonderful. We allow a bit more room. We let a few things go because we know that some new stuff's coming in, and that's really, really good. And then, Capricorn, we have the Knight of Cups, an offering. This knight really could be a character. Could be a character in your life. Could be aspects of yourself, but you know, it's an emotional offering. The Knight is really driven. Like there seems to be a rational. I think this was like sort of similar Capricorn reading for that new moon in Gemini. It was like between the rational and the emotions, between the intellect and the intuitive mind, intuitive self, higher self, whatever way you want to look at that. There was a little bit of a push and pull me. It sort of reminds me of that a wee bit. But anyway, this night, whether it's a character in your life or it's aspects of yourself, the emotions here overall really direct this night's trajectory, totally overriding any rational intellect. Emotion overriding intellect is what I'm trying to say. Capricorn. So it's interesting, and maybe, maybe if this is you, it's a new thing. It's a new thing, or it's quite a difficult place to be, But let's have a look, Capricorn. There's definitely the big cards, like the Lovers and Death. In between the Two of Swords and a Knight offering. This is an offering. The problem, the problem with the Knight is that often he gets lost in the reflection of the cup, and you could imagine this Knight, riding along on his wonderful white horse. And he's got this gorgeous cup, and he's going to offer it, and he gets so transfixed by the reflection that he basically kind of runs off the cliff. I get that. Never to be seen again. Or, I don't mean literally, but you can imagine it, can't you? Just getting lost in the emotion of that moment of thinking, yes, I'm offering this cup to that other person, or whatever it happens to be. Anywho, what were we looking at? We're looking at the Two of Swords. I just had Temperance coming out. Wasn't focused really then, was I, on anything? Temperance, timing, another alchemical. This is the ultimate in that sort of alchemical mixing of the fluids, the chemicals, the elements, the thoughts, the emotions, and it all gets into that gigantic cosmic pot and does its own fermentation. Whatever comes out of that comes when it's ready. Temperance, beautiful card. Two of Swords. Two of Swords for Capricorn, please. Yep. Oops. Two of Swords. Well, within this, Capricorn, there's certainly a level of new beginnings and new growth. And I hope this isn't like a carbon copy of your last, I don't have any control over it, but of your last new moon in Gemini reading, because it does feel a little bit similar. But we have the Fool appearing, maybe this intuitive choice. Everyone talks about intuition or following guidance as if it's the easiest thing to do. The thing with it is in some ways there's a level of surrender that has to take place in order to do that. We see this beautiful Fool taking off a fresh growth, fresh attitudes, perspectives. There is no history. This Fool takes off. If there is any history, it's kind of forgotten about, because everything's about new. Everything's about the new in the Fool. Let's look at the Lovers. The Lovers. The Capricorn Lovers. Lovers. Please. Wow. Victory. 6. Another 6. 6 is the Lovers, and the 6 of Wands. A victory in terms of or around the center of that fiery will. Victory is, everyone says, yeah, it's a winning card because, you know, this knight comes back, he's in victory mode, he's getting accolades, he's seen to be a success because of his value, the values that he put into service for others, that sort of classical thing. There's a success here in being able to conjoin, rebalance, renew. Because I see all of those things in the Lover's card. Renewal, Capricorn. Whatever this is about, because I don't know, whatever this is about, if it does resonate, it's really beautiful. It's got a really beautiful feeling. Death. Just to upset the apple cart. Transformation. Death is a wonderful card, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing card because we leave something. We make room for newness to come through. We shed a tight little skin, whatever that is, you know. So to clarify that, we get the 5 of Cups. Now, you know, we've got 2 here, but we're looking down at the 3. It's about perspective. All of the 5s really are like a shift and like a lesson in perspective, of which if we didn't experience, we would never know, would we? We'd never know the actual idea about shifting energy, shifting our perspective, focusing at will on these 2 cups that are still beautiful and full, as opposed to those 3. Something's never enough in this, you know, something's never enough in this card. And the lesson in that is, well, actually, it's about shifting energy and perspective. And I think that's what's been transmutated or transfigured, transformed for you, Capricorn, or it's occurring in your life somewhere. Let's look at that Knight. Knight, oh God, there's so many. So many cards. The Knight of Cups. There's not many cards. There's 3 cards. We got the 8 of Cups, a level of objectivity. Now this is really good if we're looking at that Knight, who can have a tendency to get lost in one's own reflection and in the waters of the cup, in the watery emotions. We get swept away. So we have the 8 of Cups. Where are we? We've seen these 2. And the 8, we're going for those 2. We're looking for them. We learnt that, didn't we? You know, it's quite nice. Then we have the World, a whole new beginning, a whole new cycle. All through the readings this full moon have been about, yeah, okay, you know, I get the message, I got the lesson out of this. I wish I could think of a different word than lesson, but I learnt something from this. I'm going forward with greater hope and optimism, which is really about that Sagittarian archetype. Has such great faith in potentials. So we have the world, and then we're building a new foundation. Lovely Capricorn with the 3 of discs. And we're drawing others into that. It's pretty nice. I'm just going to leave it there. Make of that what you will. And we're going to get a wee stone crystal directional card here. This is a really straightforward, very simple deck of cards that have, oh, I love that, that are just stones, rocks, crystals, earth. Love it. We have for you, Capricorn, azurite. It's got that purple and really sort of a sulphurous sort of green. It's beautiful, if you can see it. So azurite. So we see divine guidance in here. Divine guidance. Divine guidance. Stillness. New connections. And astral travel. Well, so, you know, that's a beautiful, there's definitely a stillness, there's a calmness, there is peace in here. There is peace in here. And I think that's invaluable. Invaluable. Let's get an art oracle card. Art oracle, what can you give us today? Ooh, actually, you know what? I forgot to get Brian Froud. I've just split that open. We've got infused with life force, excuse my burnt finger, infused with love, dear Capricorn. So what art oracle, what? Ooh. Gusts of wind. What are you going to need to put my glasses on? What have we got? What have we got today for guidance? Excuse me, Capricorn. Look, I'm not sure who this fellow is, but Alighiero Boetti. I probably haven't pronounced that right. We're looking at life, work, and inspiration. Know who you aren't, Capricorn. Find clarity in clutter, and there's more than one way to read a map. There is more than one way to read a map. Interesting. So on that note, Capricorn, a shorter reading possibly today. It's just getting a bit late, and I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful full moon in Sagittarius, and take good care, and we'll see you next time for the new moon. Ka kite, bye.